This is a part that we're going to model, and I'm using this here so as we can show a couple of nice features of properties that can be used in creating this. This is taken from World of Graphics, and it's question 1 on page 145. So these are the dimensions you're given: a diameter of 30, and you can see the small circles are 2, and they're arranged in a square here, which is 8 millimeters apart, and the depth of the button is 3 millimeters. So I'll just hide that for the second. To do this, you need to go up to your Onshape, and you will need to go to Create and create a document, and we can call this a button. And I will create this now. It should take a few seconds and it'll open it up for me. And when you're in the workspace here, we want to draw on the front plane. So there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can either select that and then hit Sketch, or you can hit Sketch. My preferred way would be just to pick the plane from the design tree over here on the left. Do not close this here, keep this opened. If you want to rename it, excuse me, is button. And I'm going to hit the letter N to go, okay, let's see. Go back out of that. I'll just click on the workspace here to get out of that, and then I'll hit the letter N to bring this normal to. Do not close this. If it closes, go back in here, right click it and edit, and come back into that. So bringing that a little bit closer to me, I'm going to pick the circle. If it happens to get on here where you see the origin highlighted as orange, by all means draw from that there. But a common problem would be where this is drawn and it's not on the origin, so it's just only a fraction of it. I'm exaggerating it here a little. So first thing to do is, you see that the circle is highlighted, hit escape, and that'll get you away from that. Click the origin and click the dot that you want the two of them to be together, and come up here onto the properties bar and hit coincident, and that'll bring it back together. The next stage is put in the size, which is a diameter of 30. And then you can hit focus or scroll it in to get a little bit closer. We want to draw a square now to locate the center of the buttons. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up onto the bar here and pick the rectangle. And I'm going to go to center point rectangle. Pick the center point, and again, if it doesn't land on that exactly, you can fix that just the way I done with the circle. The distance between these sides is 8 millimeters. So I'm going to put in the sizes of 8 millimeters. Once I have that done, I'm still in the measurement command. You can hit escape to get out of that. Now what I want to do is I want to highlight each of these sides. And what I'm going to do here is change that from a heavy line to a construction line. When I have that done, then I can draw my 4 circles. And again, if it doesn't land on the exact spot, you know how to fix that there. And I'll do it just over here. If it was slightly off, I can pick my point, pick the other point, and of course pick coincident here. So it's brought it in. Now there is another couple of commands I would like to show on this here, which is a very, very useful one as well, is where I want all those circles to be the same size. So if I highlight each of the circles, and then I come up here to my properties bar, and I want them to be equal, hit equal, and now they're all the same size. And as far as I remember, the size here was 2 millimeters in diameter. So now go back to your dimension tool, pick any one of the circles, enter it as 2, and they all go to the same size, which is very, very useful. So now what I have here is I have my button drawn, and I've got the circles and the outside circle. I can OK my sketch because I'm happy with that sketch now. I have everything that I need on that sketch. Next thing I want to do now is I want to go to extrude. I'm out of the sketch tool now, I'm into extrude. I've only got the one sketch here. If something goes wrong on that there, you can right click it and you can go into edit. You're back to your sketch, and now you can work with your sketch. But I'm out of it now, I'm happy with that. I'm going to pick extrude, and I pick, when I hover over the button, you can see the circles, outer circle and the 4 inner circles are highlighted orange, so I click on them. Now it's going to pick that there to extrude. You can see its default is 25 millimeters. This is only 3 millimeters, and I want it symmetric. And the reason why I would like to put it symmetric is because if I wanted to change features on the two, different on the two sides, or maybe I want to make similar features on two sides, by having it in the middle plane can be very useful as you go on. You can see the line is highlighted there. It's hard to see it on that, but if we go to the right, if we look from the right hand side, you can see now the button's coming out the same distance on both sides. So that's it, almost done here. So what I want to do now is another feature. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just hide the planes here. So turn off the eyes on each of those. And I've got this now in the center of my screen. I'm going to pick fillet, and the fillet here is shown at 1 millimeter, which is probably plenty big. You have to be careful if you're filleting both sides that you don't go too big, because one will cut into the other and then it'll not function properly. So I'm just going to pick the face. I could pick the individual curve that I want to do, but I'm going to get rid of that there. And if that happens there, you can see things are highlighted. That's what it's going to fillet. So I'm picking the face of the entity and it's filleting that, and I'll go around the other side, pick the other side, and I'd be quite happy with that there. Now I've got it filleted on both sides, so it's curved around, so it gives it a smoother appearance, which wasn't shown in the book. Over here I'll pick, as whether it's isometric or dimetric, I want to have the button featured in, and I'd like to change the colour, so I'll go to the appearance panel. You see the colour is that kind of a blue colour. I double click it and pick whatever colour that I would like to have on my button. That applies it to the whole feature. Just click on the appearance panel and it disappears. And that is the first one there, a nice simple button.